Well, bad news for cruisers. Starlink is now going to cost you a lot more. I just received this email from Starlink, and it says here, for over the past 90 days, your Starlink has been used in areas that violate the terms and conditions of your service plan.
Welcome to Expedition CNEST. We have had a number of requests to share our experience with Starlink, the satellite internet system in the Bahamas. So we are dedicating this episode to share with you our experiences as well as how we mounted and used the system that provides us with Wi-Fi when we are on the boat. We ordered the hardware and it was shipped to our home within a week. Michael set up the pivot mount while we were in Florida, and we linked up to the network when we arrived in the Bahamas.
Okay, just tightening up these stainless bolts. I think these are 5/16. I put a big fender washer on the bottom, so in case there's some really strong wind, it can't pull these bolts through this 5/8 plywood. That should do it with nylocks on the top, so nothing can vibrate loose. What's kind of cool is I didn't realize I'd ordered the bracket and it actually matches the gray color of the roof rack. Well, close anyways. There we go. That's looking good. I just put it right flush. I don't want to use too much of this roof rack. So I put it right flush with the edge, but that's still, the bolt holes are still back 2 inches from the center, so 2 inches back from the edge, so I shouldn't have any problems. So that's really rock solid. That's not going anywhere. Nick, you could actually, if you want it, this was in the wind, you could just tilt this down like that. Look at that. So now it's just nice and flush, and now I could pull my tender all the way back to here, and it could pull right over top of this actually if I wanted to do that. Yeah, so now we're all ready. Now all we have to do is get to the Bahamas, and we'll start our subscription for our Starlink, and that'll cover us throughout the islands, keeping my fingers crossed that there is no issues. Well, we're behind Bonds Key in the Bahamas. This is part of the Berry Island chain. We're a long ways away from cell phone towers, but we have Starlink here. And I want to show you what the speed test is like. First of all, we'll show you.
Okay, just to explain this speed test. The internet speed refers to the speed with which data or content travels from the web to your phone, computer, tablet, or smartphone. The speed of this data is measured in megabits per second. So just for fun, I looked it up, and the average home internet speed in 2022 in the US was 182 for download and 22 for upload.
Okay, so for the download speed, we have 167, and for the upload, we have 13.6. It seems to be pretty good. I mean, I think you'll probably find that the Starlink works better the more isolated you are, because there's no competition.
When Michael says competition here, what he means is that Starlink's way of addressing supply and demand is to distribute data according to your service plan. Certain plans receive priority over others. In a nutshell, residential plans receive priority over roam packages in urban areas. And with other plans, the more you pay, the higher priority or faster data you will receive.
They are the only problem that we find with it. It draws heavy on our batteries, and if you can hear the generator out there, it's running pretty hard. Take you out here. So our generator's running, and this is just to stop us from drawing down our batteries. So we will run the generator anytime that we are running the Starlink. I'll show you how I've set up here. I've mounted it on the roof, and here it's got a clear view. Here you can see it's standing straight up and down. And we have purchased the the bracket here that you can purchase through Starlink, and this can be swung down so we can use the whole back here if we need to. And we just run the cable. It's just a temporary run because we take it down whenever we travel. We have heard that if we do run this system while underway, that they can shut you down. So we never use it at any point other than when we are at anchor. And we haven't had an issue yet. It takes maybe 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes for it to hook up. This thing here will spin and it'll locate the satellites. The dishy seems to work well. I mean, and it's not very large. It easily stores on our front V berth when we're not using it. As soon as we drop anchor, we pull it out and set it up, and we can decide to use it then, or we can use it after we start the generator. But we can use it without the generator. We just don't use it for long. I think if you have a large battery, a bank, and lots of amp hours, then you're probably going to be fine. But for us, we typically run the generator almost all the time when we have the Starlink going. Yeah, here you can see this is the modem that's sitting right here, and it doesn't look like it sits well, but it does. It actually sits in here. It doesn't slide around at all. We've coiled up all the cable that we never have to use, and we just run it through the window. So this is it like this. If we have, black flies or mosquitoes, maybe we'll plug this with a towel. For the most part, this seems to work just fine with us, and then it just comes down and it just plugs directly into an outlet. We have a choice. We use the inverter if we're on batteries to keep those keep that 120 going, or else as of right now we are using the generator. We don't have to do anything with it. It just automatically goes over to the We're here in Nassau, and we are using the Starlink right now. So let's show you the upload and download speed here in Nassau. I would recommend Starlink for anyone who is planning on going places where there are not cell phone towers. We only use it at anchor or when we're moored up, so it's been fantastic for us. And when we're done our cruising, we can just shut it down, pack it up, and this summer we'll use it again, maybe when we're in Canada.
As Michael said in the opener, we recently received an email from Starlink that stated we'd violated our terms in the service agreement. We don't agree with this claim, as we only use Starlink at anchor, not in motion on the ocean. Unfortunately, we have yet to receive an answer from Starlink's support team. You input a question from your account page and receive a computer-generated response with numerous frequently asked questions. So, sadly, we don't have any clear advice for all of you moving forward, except that we will likely have to change to a more expensive mobility plan and hopefully be able to use the dishy that we already purchased.
I just received this email from Starlink, and it says here, for over the past 90 days, your Starlink has been used in areas that violate the terms and conditions of your service plan. Your plan does not include service on the ocean. Starting as early as May 9, 2023, you will be unable to connect to the internet on the ocean except to access your Starlink account, where you can make updates to your account. So we weren't on the ocean. Well, we didn't consider ourselves on the ocean. We were in the Bahamas, and the Bahamas is considered land. And this is where it gets really confusing. I know Starlink is a fairly new company, but it's really, really getting frustrating. Now, the mobile plan, it's a regional plan, so that means it covers the continent of North America. Bahamas is also part of the continent of North America, so is some other islands. And so this is the part we have trouble understanding, is why did we receive that email that says that that we have violated the terms because it's part of North America, and it says that we're in the ocean. Now, we weren't on the ocean. We were actually in the Bahamas. We were anchored close to land. So we don't understand why we received this, and we're trying to get an answer from them, but they're not giving it to us. But what's also interesting is we looked at the map. So they have an availability map, and if you look at the map, it actually shows you the areas that they consider land. There's what's available, there's the wait list, and coming soon. They are all considered land. And that means even the Great Lakes are considered land. The maybe along some of the coast is considered land. If you look at that map, you can see that. And the Bahamas are considered land as well. So why is it that we received this email? So this means that we're going to have to buy the priority plan. The priority plan is for the mobile is if we want 1 terabyte, it's going to cost us $1,000 a month. But that will allow you to be able to use your Starlink while you're moving. Remember, if you have a look at the availability map that Starlink shows, is that there's actually parts of the Berry Islands and parts of the Exumas that are not covered, and they're black. And that means that you'll be dropped if you try using the regular plan. So that's where you're probably better off with the priority plan. You might be better off just like getting a SIM card, doing it that way. I mean, you can hotlink off your phone when you're down there. The Bahamas have an awful lot of cell towers. I mean, they're up and down the Exumas, they're up and down the other islands as well. Is it something you really need? Probably not. You could probably get by without it. Be prepared for changes, and be prepared. This could cost a lot more money. Unfortunately, Julia and I, we have already purchased the equipment for Starlink, and you've seen that. We've installed it, and it was great. It worked well for us, but now it could cost us a lot more money if we want to use it. So you guys decide, and hopefully something here I've told you is helpful. Take care.
So if you made it through this video without becoming totally confused or falling asleep, bravo! Leave us a comment in the section below to let us know what you're doing for internet in the Bahamas or elsewhere. Here is some drone footage from a beautiful location that we visited in the Bahamas that'll be featured in upcoming videos. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.